everybody, welcome to another recap of Survivor Redemption Island. Last week was the old double elimination, which ended up taking out the rest of Zapatera. Bye Randy, bye Steve. So Ralph arrived at Redemption, and then he was closely followed by Steve, and Ralph was like, well, golly. Alright, back at camp, Natalie was crying. She was a little hormonal. I was worried for her because I thought that by her crying that they would be voting her off soon, but that's like Rob's main alliance, so that wasn't going to happen. They got some tree mail from Sprint. You know what that means, kids. I mean, if you've been watching the show all these years, you know that it's family videos. So the surprising part was that it was family videos even for the people on Redemption Island, which was kind of nice because, I mean, they don't have a lot to hope for on Redemption Island there. It's they got a 1 in 4 chance. So Ralph gets a report from the cows and chickens. They're okay, but lost a few chickens. That was really weird. Really weird. So we find out it's a 4-way duel, and the winner gets time with a loved one. The first 3 to break the 3 tiles stay alive, but the first one to do it gets time with the loved one. And Mike ends up winning it. It was nothing difficult. It was like you throw the ball and try and break the tile, and it's pretty straightforward. Matt ends up staying alive along with Ralph, which means, sorry Steve, you're out. Throw your buff into the fire on the way out. Thank you. Mike's mom appears from behind the tree. It was kind of weird. So Jeff gives Mike a choice. Mike can either spend time with his mom, he can not spend time with his mom and give the honor of staying with their loved ones to Matt and Ralph, or he can not spend time with his mom, have Matt and Ralph not spend time with their loved ones, and give it to everybody else who voted him out, former Ometepe. So he pulled the stupidest move I've ever seen, and he said it was because he's Christian. He gives it to everybody else to spend time with their loved one. And then he was like, oh, well, I didn't do it to get their votes. You could have given it to, like, the guys on Redemption if you didn't do it for votes then. I mean, you know, Matt's been really suffering for a long time. I mean, he got, like, blindsided twice. I thought it was a stupid move. What do I know, though? I'd probably be the first one voted out of Survivor. And Ralph was angry. Well, maybe that's telling. Maybe I'm as stupid as Ralph. I don't know. Alright, so the loved ones back at camp was very emotional. I was like fighting back tears as I was watching, and especially when Natalie's mom was talking to her. It was really emotional. Philip's sister was there, and Philip called himself crazy. Does that mean he's black? You know, I'll never understand. Why is it okay for Philip to call himself crazy but no one else? I just don't get it. Now, Rob wants to win for his wife and kids, but didn't they win $1 million already? And then they were on Amazing Race, which I'm hoping they got paid for, and did a wedding special and numerous appearances. I don't think they really should be hurting for money. Alright, so Andrea can't win. That's the plan, because she's going to be the next one to go, supposedly. So it's time for the immunity challenge, and it was a doozy. They walked in, and it was like Stairway to Heaven. There was all these steps going up. It almost seemed like 1 million, but it probably wasn't that many. They had to collect the planks for them, and they had to bring up 1 plank at a time for each of 3 sets of steps and to make it to the top to get the flag. So it looked a lot harder than it actually... No, I'm sorry. It didn't look as hard as it actually was, but it was like 110 degrees. And you could only bring up the 1 at a time. So it looked... Oh my God. Rob, he was like practically convulsing. But the funniest part of the whole thing was the Jeff Probst commentary. Rob is literally carrying his family on his back. He pushed it to the limit. I mean, he really deserved to win. It was very emotional. I thought he was going to actually have a seizure, so it was pretty scary. And then when he stood up, I was thinking, oh my God, what if he were to fall down the stairs right now? That would be insanity. So thank God Jeff did not let him fall down the stairs. All right, so back at camp, the plan is to get rid of Andrea. This is where my VCR, not my VCR, my DVR cut out, which happens occasionally because it's loaded with reality TV. It's probably got some kind of a reality TV virus sickness. And I missed the last 15 minutes of the show, so I pieced it together from stuff that I had read on the internet. I would totally appreciate if you have anything to add, to please leave it in the comments. It would be awesome. All right, so the plan is to get rid of Andrea until Philip starts acting like a horse's ass, like a crazy fool, and gets everyone thinking, well, maybe he should go. So at Tribal, Philip explains his strategy. Did he really? It's like playing Go Fish with a kindergartner with their cards all out on the table. Philip, you don't show people your cards, not for free anyway. Yeah, so he said, my plan from day one is to be a villain, so they'll take me to the end. Then he continues and says that he has an ironclad speech at the end that would guarantee him to beat Rob. So Rob says, well, maybe I shouldn't bring Philip to the end. This sounded like a crazy-ass tribal council, and no wonder why my DVR rejected it. It didn't want me to see it because it was so good. But they stick to the plan, and Andrea is voted out by a vote of 5-1. So like I said, if you've got anything to add or next week's episode, please leave it in the comments. It would be mucho apreciando. All right, kids, till next week, much love.